Hello and welcome back to my craft room. I've got to make a few cards today to send my swap squares out in my art swap. Well, not squares, I'm doing bookmarks. I thought I'd just film them. Some of you might find it useful or give you some ideas if you need to make a batch of cards or anything. I'm trying something I haven't tried before, so it remains to be seen how it goes, but hey ho. So what I'm going to be using is this lovely set of collage sheets that I got from, I don't know how on earth you say this, itKuPiLLi. You can see it there, Imaginarium, and this was on Etsy, and this is her mini paper dolls. So it was sheets 1, 2 and 3 in the set, and it was about, I think it's just under £4, like £3 something, and you get these 3 sheets. I think they're really cute, and they're mini ones because they're designed to work on ATC size. But I've decided I'm going to keep these ones that I printed out because I will use these for future things, but I decided I wanted them a bit bigger to make the cards that I've got in mind. So I've also cropped them and printed out each of the kind of blocks that you can see there. I've printed out a bit larger as well. I hope she doesn't mind me doing that. One of the great things about these kind of these printables like this is that once you've bought them, you can use them over and over again. Obviously you can't print them out and even give them to people, let alone to sell them to people, but she's fine, and they all have different angel policies, but she's fine. The lady that does these is absolutely fine with you making things out of them and giving them more or selling them, as long as you've made them into your own artwork. She's fine with that. You do need to be careful with that though, because I came across 1 or 2 where you weren't even supposed to make them into things to give to other people, and I thought, well, that was a bit, I mean, there's a limit to how much you want to do just for yourself, you know. I think that's a bit limited not to be able to use them to make things to give to other people. A lot of what, you know, one of the things people love to do is to make art and swap it and things, or make cards. And yeah, so do check that if you're wanting to make things to give away or sell. Do check what their policy is. So I thought these were lovely images, and they're kind of, they already look lovely, so it's going to make it really quick and easy to do. And I'm kind of using her art, but I will be putting my spin on it, so so I feel okay about it. Some of the kind of collage sheets that you can get come with words. This one didn't, but I will maybe print off words or use words out of books if I feel I want to do that. Then I've got this pack of cards I think I've shown before. I got this, it was something like £12. Got it from Amazon, and you get 100 of these square cards with matching envelopes, which I thought was a blooming bargain. It'll keep me going for ages. So I need 12 cards, so I'm going to take 12 of these out. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is make some pretty backgrounds for these. So these cards come pre-scored, which is really nice. So all you've got to do is fold them when you're away, but I'm not going to fold them until I finish working on them. And one little tip you might not know if you're not into paper crafting, there we go, can you see where that card's been scored? The bump of the score line is up towards me here. I can feel it there. And what you might think is that that's the way you fold it. You don't, you do it the opposite way. So on here you can see that where the line is scored, there we go, that's where the line is indented. That is the way you fold here, because otherwise you put too much stress on the paper. It's already been stressed there to make that crease. If you fold it against that line in that direction, you're going to stress the paper even more, and that's when it might crack or tear. So fold this way. But anyway, I'm not going to fold these yet. I'm going to work on them one at a time. Excuse the state of my fingers. That's not it's other projects I've been working on. I've got some Distress Oxide inks. These are some of the ones that lovely Hannah sent to me. So I've got Twisted Citron, one of my favourites, Squeezed Lemonade, Picked Raspberry. Just love the names of these. Seedless Preserves, Abandoned Coral and Mermaid Lagoon. And I think those colours all fit really nicely with the collage sheet. It might be, looking at the size of this now, it might be that actually I do need to use the small the small ones. So we'll see. But if I do, then I will definitely be using these for other things anyway. So I just want to give a little bit of background colour. I've got my blending brushes. I love using these for these inks. So these are the Distress Oxides, which are the ones which are kind of opaque and have a kind of a chalky finish. Like the original Distress inks, they remain water reactive even when they've kind of dried. They'll still be water reactive. If you splash water at them, they're so beautiful. I love working with them. I'm just going to do a selection of different backgrounds. I could use stencils and things. I just want to be really quick today. I just want these to put my art swaps inside, really. We'll start from the middle because that'll be covered by the figure anyway. Oh, if you do get a little smut of ink where you don't want it, these Tombow Mono Sand Eraser, if I'm lucky, it will take that ink off. That's a really handy thing to have. Quite often you get a little blob of ink right at the last minute, just where you don't want it. Let's have a bit of green now. And I'm starting in the middle because figure will be over there, so you won't see it. Love the way these inks blend. Okay, I've ended up doing I've not blended two colours together for most of them. I've just done a spot of colour like this because I think that's just going to be enough to give it a bit of colour in the background. And where I've got blips like this, that's where I've got it a bit wet or something. I'll just make sure something goes over that bit. That'd be fine. So I've got a few different combinations there. And then I've started to play around with the shapes. And what I think I'm going to do, because these cards aren't really big enough to have the whole figure on in the large size, what I think I'm going to do for these is, so these are the same pieces cut out of the small size. I'm going to do the body small like that, but then put the larger heads like that. I think that'd be quite cute. They're going to be different anyway. And then when I've stuck them all down, I'm going to go around with a black pencil or something, or maybe some paint markers, and have my own little twist to them. So I think the next job is to sit and cut all of these out, so I've got them to play with. There's such lovely images, these really nice. I love the old-fashioned circusy ones like these. Love them with the clown faces and stuff. I think some of the clowns' faces with the ballet dresses will look cute. And I love that, you know, there's the vintage bathing suit ones, and then these kind of more modern looking hippie chick ones. I just love them. What a lovely combination of images. Love the colour palette that she uses as well. Really, really brilliant. I'm just going to cut out these images now and then play around sticking some of them together, and I'll come back and show you how I'm getting on and what I'm going to do for the next step. I'm just going to use Pritt Stick to stick them down. I've got to be careful. I can't use matte medium because it will react with the distress ink. And then when those are all stuck down, I will have a think about if I'm going to add some wordage. I might cut out some other little pieces that aren't for the collage sheet, like some pieces of pattern paper to make little crowns or little hearts or whatever, just put my own little touch on. So we'll see. I'll be back in a moment to show you how it's going. I've been through and picked out a few little combinations that I quite like. I just now need to fussy cut them and stick them onto the background. So what I'm going to do is do one on camera. Let's do this one as nice and simple, and then I'll go through and do the rest and just show you how they turned out. So it's really simple. It's just cutting and sticking, but it is handy to have. I use the bigger scissors I've got and the smaller scissors I've got, so I use these nice long ones for cutting out. They're lovely for cutting long straight lines and cutting all the shapes apart in the first place. Those are really handy. And then I go down to my littlest pair for the fussy cutting bit, or cussy futting as we used to call it in my scrapbooking team days. So if you've never done all this fussy cutting, it's quite therapeutic. Just put something on to listen to or watch. Listen to preferably, because you need to watch what you're doing. Cut the shape out roughly and then just go in with your little pair of scissors. Generally it's best idea to keep the scissors still and move the paper. And normally I would combine this with some words cut out of books or with some little bits and pieces cut out of pattern paper and stuff, but I'm keeping this really simple because I must get these ready. They've got to go off tomorrow, so I don't have time to get fussy about it. So with that, like there where I've got the feathery bits of the hair, I'll just cut straight across and then I'll go back in afterwards. But it is a fiddle, it's not quick to do. I don't have to think too hard, because someone else has already done all the hard work for me, really. I'm just picking out cute combinations. And now I will, because there's a middle hole here. I need to get my little knife out for that. These little finger knives by Fiskars are really handy. And if you've got to cut a hole out the middle, it's better to do that before you cut all around the outline first, but you've still got a bit of something. And I really shouldn't be doing this on a glass mat. I should get my cutting mat out for this. So this isn't a project for people who don't like a bit of fussy cutting. Make sure I get glue all the way up to the edges. Let's just put her head at a slightly angle. Okay, I'm using started off using a normal colour pencil, but I've decided to go with an Inktense, and I've got my Chinese ink colour, which is black, and I'm just going to outline the whole thing. Just to make it more dramatic. And the thing with these pencils is that they're nondescript until you wet them, and once you do wet them they become much more dramatic, and once they've dried they're permanent. So I'm going to work my way through. I'll probably do all of the cutting and sticking bit now, and then do all of the detailing afterwards, because I'm getting myself in a mess here. But this is kind of where I'm going with it. I'll come back in a minute for you, a couple of hours for me, and show you how they're looking. I think they're done. They came out differently to what I had in my head, but that's the way it often goes. I've really enjoyed doing them. I think those collage sheets from the unpronounceable name are brilliant. I will try and remember to leave a link to that lady below. Put the collage sheets away, that's it. I will leave a link to her Etsy shop in the description box below. I hope you enjoyed that. If you're watching this and you're one of my art swap partners, you've probably had one of these already. Anyway, so that's me done for today. I hope you enjoyed watching that. I need to go and get these all packed up and ready to get picked up when I post these tomorrow. So thank you very much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed that, and I will see you again really soon.